Good morning. On behalf of the Pottstown School District Board of Directors and the entire Pottstown community, welcome back to the 2023-2024 school year. Most of you know that I start out every single year with an important reminder, and I'm not going to disappoint this year. We have a tremendous mission in front of us to prepare each student by name for success at every level. But before we commit ourselves to that goal, we must also remember that we must take care of our health, we have to take care of our family, and we must take care of our finances, because if either our physical health or our financial health is in jeopardy, we can't do our mission. And while we want to be here for our students, we must also be there for our own family. You may or may not know that we have just completed year one of a 5-year comprehensive plan, going from 2022 to 2027. We took more than a year to build the plan right after the pandemic, and I'm happy to inform you that we are right on track in our 4 goals. Some of those goals, as a reminder, is success in the early years, creating engaged and responsible learners, mastery of core skills, and being ready for college, career, and life. In all of these areas, we are making progress, including making sure that we have the foundations at the early years and creating an excellent pre-K counts program that feeds into our kindergarten program. In the second pillar, creating engaged and responsible as well as resilient learners, we have made progress. We're using the portrait of a graduate with our graduates or soon to be graduates. We've added arts, music, and co-curriculars, and we are improving all of our programs. As it relates to mastery of core skills, and we're going to talk about the harsh truth and reality of the fact that we're in some academic improvement programs right now, but we still know where we need to go, and that is we have to use multi-tiered system of supports, making sure that every student gets what they need and is reading by 3rd grade. We also know that we have work to do in the area of equity, and we've got to keep pushing as it relates to growth. Finally, for our readiness for college, career, and life, our CTE program as well as our dual enrollment programs remain a strength. A major focus for this year is PowerSchool. It almost goes without saying that when we are switching our major software program that tracks attendance and grades and all of our student data, that is a big deal. And it'll be a big deal for our parents as well. So you are going to get a refresher. Of course, we got our big main training back in the spring, and hopefully you've been able to toy with it a little bit over the summer. But no matter what, we're going to have a refresher coming up, and we're going to tell you a little bit more about School Messenger, which will be our main communication program to contact you as staff, as well as parents with emails, phone calls, text messages. There'll be an app, and it looks like we're going to be able to handle some attendance as well. You'll learn more about that as you break out into your specific levels, but this is going to be an area of emphasis, and because it's new, we know that there are going to be problems and issues, but I also know that these tools are going to be much better than what we've had previously. I think it's also necessary that we start out the year talking about a couple of the issues that we had last year. Last year we saw too many of our Chromebooks being mishandled by our students. We spoke to administrators and teachers and students and especially parents, and they gave us good feedback. And that is that they do not want a program to fix it, they want people held accountable. So this year we are going to strictly enforce a you break it, you bought it policy. Again, if students break their Chromebooks, we understand accidents happen, and if they have insurance, that's great. But if they purposefully break it, they bought it, and they will have to pay for it. And this is something that you'll see as we unveil different communications that are going out to parents, and you should reinforce it with your students. Chromebooks are taxpayer property. They're not gifts and they're not toys. We have to make sure that they understand they must respect that property. Let me pause here and just do a shameless plug. If we were in person and it was taking 3 hours to go through all of the updates, I would be inviting my good friend Joe Rasevich, the executive director for the Pottstown Foundation for Education. Since we're doing the simplified virtual model, I'm gonna just shamelessly plug this wonderful group of individuals who do nothing but fundraise for our students to make sure that they have opportunities for field trips, dual enrollment. They help with pre-K counts, and they generally support our classroom experiences. Please consider giving to them either in one of their fundraising campaigns. As a board member, I give to them as well, so I'm not telling you to do anything I don't believe in myself, but I think it's a great thing that Joe can use when he goes out to ask others to support us, when he's able to say, we support ourselves as well. Thanks, everybody. In terms of safety, I want everybody to know that every single year we make progress to ensure that all students and staff are safe. We've done a series of quiet updates that I won't waste a lot of time talking about now, but if you look around, you'll be able to see more cameras. On the back end, some of our camera systems have been upgraded, and more lighting. Things like this take time, and we don't always take a lot of time to broadcast it for obvious reasons, but we wanted you to know that it's going on. Another thing to know is that programming and safety trainings are a big part of what we do. So you're going to get an update or initial training in CPI, and everyone should know what that is: crisis prevention and intervention, to make sure we're de-escalating students, and also reunification training. And our reunification, which really started last year, is going to have some training components this year, but a big push in the next year. So look forward to that. You know, a great crossover thought between safety and my next item, which would be parent communication, is this: culture eats strategy for breakfast. You know, I've used that statement before. Nothing keeps us safe like good and positive culture, and nothing feeds into good positive culture like really strong relationships with our parents. So hopefully, and if you need more, you can ask your principal these questions, but we logged thousands of contacts with parents, and I am happy to say that through surveys and other means, including parents contacting me directly, last year was an overwhelming success. Even if you didn't feel it within your particular classroom, we got tons of really great feedback that parents, especially at the middle school, were super impressed with the fact that many of you called, emailed, sent text messages, made yourselves available after hours and during school hours, and made sure that parents knew that you cared about their children. That matters a lot, And even though we're not going to have another Year of the Parent theme, I wanted you to know it's still important. I suggest you do it. During the last school year, I was able to visit with many groups of staff and different levels of professionals and support staff to just give me feedback about what's going right and what's not going right. And we had some good conversation. Thank you if you were one of the people who participated in that. I know I benefited from it. One of the things that came out of that was this idea of cultural proficiency and some of the cultural issues that most urban school districts face. So when we look at our suspension rates, we know that our suspension rates don't demonstrate the equity that we value. When we look at the number of students who are gifted, not only are fewer students labeled as gifted than ought to be, vast majority of them are of one ethnic persuasion than others. And we know that is not equitable and doesn't demonstrate equitable practices. But how do you fill these achievement gaps? How do you, even though I know that the people who work here care about diversity and equity, we're all on the same page and same team when it comes to that, but how do we bridge the gap between what we believe and some of the results that we've been getting? Well, I'm pleased to tell you that administrators have been trained. We've been getting cultural proficiency training, and that training being conducted by Dr. Barbara Moore Williams. You can Google her if you'd like. She has been working with a lot of different school districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and been providing some excellent insight into how we bridge some of those gaps. So I am very pleased to invite you today. We're going to create a pilot volunteer group, and we're looking mainly at professionals, teaching professionals for this wave of training, but we're going to have cultural proficiency training of about 30 people. It's going to be after school. The dates are all chosen, so we're going to be able to share that with you in the very near future, and it'll be a paid activity. The sessions will be about 9 or 10 sessions throughout the school year, and then we're hoping to start a second wave or maybe even third wave starting in the next school year. If you are interested, if you are thinking to yourself, you know what, I'd like to get better at connecting with some of those students that can sometimes be the most challenging, I encourage you to participate. This is something that will be ongoing and you'll be hearing about in the future. I think it will give us really, really positive results. You're going to be hearing from Ryan Oxenford, who will be providing you an update on some new tools and materials that we have. And for those of you who don't like change, and I count myself among those, change is really hard and difficult. You'd think I'd get used to it, but for those of us who don't like change, this might be a challenge. But what I can tell you is that it's the right thing to do for right now, because some of our achievement scores have been slipping. We've done a good job at growth, and I thank you for that. But at the same time, the pandemic has taken a toll. Underfunding has taken a toll. And at the end of the day, our students are looking to us to help them with that. So here's the elephant in the room. Our middle school is in a CSI, or comprehensive school improvement level. Our high school is at an ATSI, or specific area targeted school improvement, and 3 of our elementary schools are in TSI, or targeted school improvement. At the end of the day, all that means is that our scores are low and we have to help get them better. But I'm happy to say that unlike many times in the past, we have some new tools that will help us. So please make sure to give him your full attention and your principals as we talk about the plan to improve quickly and significantly.
Good morning, Pottstown team, and welcome back to another school year. I hope everyone had a restful summer and you're ready to get back at this upcoming school year. As you can see from the initial communication that was sent out by this point in time, we do have 3 days of in-service prior to the start of the school year. The first day for everyone is going to be very consistent in that you will have time with your building for the first half of the day, and for the second half of the day you're going to be in either grade level or department meetings with people who have similar instructional responsibilities. I think we've all become accustomed to looking at the professional development map, and that will continue to be the practice. So please make sure to reference your particular job category and the details of the expectations over those 3 days. Days 2 and 3 will consist of task-driven responsibilities. So what will happen is during days 2 and 3, you may have some trainings assigned to you that are sometimes provided to you by video, which creates some flexibility and independence as to when you complete those. You may also have some times in which you are assigned to a particular meeting. It is important that all of those tasks are completed during those 2 days and that you attend those meetings as assigned. On Frontline, and this is a reminder, on Frontline you need to sign up for 2 different activities. So day 1 will be a set of activities which will be listed as the building faculty meeting, followed by department or grade level meetings. Days 2 and 3 will be listed as one activity on 2 separate dates, which means you will sign up for just that second activity, and a printout sheet will be provided for you to sign up on those 2 separate occasions. This is also a friendly reminder that you should do your reflection to get the Act 48 credit. Now, with the configuration for this upcoming school year, we do expect you to show some professional responsibility and complete all of those tasks, which will include family engagement phone calls, some time for room prep, CPI training, and some specific training relevant to your particular job assignment. We do expect professionalism at all time and extend you this courtesy as you complete your preparations for receiving students this school year. I wish you the best, and as always, do not hesitate to reach out with questions or concerns. Take care.
Well, before we turn it over to your principal so that you can get started with your first faculty meeting of the year and hear a little bit more about what you heard of today, as well as some other things that are going on in your particular schools, I want you to know that I'm very proud of this team. You know, if you look at the work of John Hattie, he says that the most significant factor in moving students in terms of achievement is teacher efficacy. And teacher efficacy is simply this: the belief that I, or we, or you can make a big difference in the lives of our students. That it's not just a matter of same old thing year after year. It's a matter of what we do counts, and we can make a difference in our students' lives, no matter where they come from, no matter what obstacles they have. I have that optimistic belief that we can do better than we've done before. So I thank you, and I'm so happy to be a part of this team. I will see you around today and in the coming days. No matter what, have a great 2023-2024 school year.